I've shown a lot of puzzles lately that have cuts by 45 degrees, and although the cuts themselves are very similar, the actual layout or arrangement of those cuts gives to the unique character or shape of the puzzle. But today I just wanted to experiment with cutting off a random couple of edges and seeing what the resulting shape would look like. I had this idea of cutting off 3 intersecting edges that intersected at a corner and then doing the same thing on the other side. After I cut 3 edges off, this is what the puzzle looked like, and you can kind of see the shape that I was going for here. But I still had to do it to the other side. I took the puzzle back over to my bandsaw and I cut off the other 3 edges, and this was the shape that I was left with. Already I can see that this shape is going to be pretty interesting, and it's giving me some UFO looking vibes. I might have to try and experiment with something like a sticker mod later on. But continuing on with this build, I needed to fill all the pieces with epoxy sculpt, and luckily I didn't have to disassemble the puzzle since all of the cavities were pretty open and easily accessible. After all the epoxy sculpt had cured, I took the puzzle over to my belt sander and I sanded down all the faces to get them as flat as I could. After I'd finished sanding all the pieces, I took the puzzle back over to my desk and I disassembled it so I could round off all of the pieces. I rounded over all the pieces by using a sanding block and a nail file, and then I rubbed everything down with some Scotch-Brite. After everything was done, I reassembled and stickered the puzzle, and this is what it looks like. I really didn't know what kind of sticker scheme to go for, so I decided to do something a little unique and unusual, and I went for a 2-color scheme, which I've never done before. I actually think this puzzle looks really cool, and I'd love to experiment with other kind of variations of this design. I actually think a 5x5 version of this would look a lot better, so I might have to put that idea away for a little later on. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this little experiment. Even though it's a fully finished puzzle, I still kind of think of it as an experiment. I really just wanted to see what this shape would look like, but I look forward to experimenting with other combinations of cutting off some edges and just seeing what happens. And of course, I can't forget to scramble this puzzle up, which is something I always seem to forget to do in my videos. But as you can see here, this puzzle is a shapeshifter because some material has been removed. I think that the shape-shifting qualities really kind of complement the 2-color scheme. Normally I think a 2-color scheme is a little underwhelming, but I think the shape-shifting kind of makes up for it. But anyways, I think this puzzle was pretty easy to build, and I guess if you really like this puzzle, I encourage you to build one too, since it's a pretty easy build. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.